When you sit on this beach of an evening and see the sun setting, you can feel the mythology. The tree stumps are part of an old forest, which appears every now and then. You're never sure when it's going to appear. And it's a forest which goes back millennia. It was inhabited, or there were people around this area then who used the forest for whatever purpose. And then between Borth and Aberystwyth, there's a piece of land. It looks man-made, from a very lonely valley called Wallog. And it's called Sarn Cynfelyn. And it's part of a chain of little pieces of story which come together to tell the story of a place which now is called Cantre'r Gwaelod. And in that story, it talks about Saithenyn. He was the head of Cantre'r Gwaelod, or Maes Gwyddno. And it talks of Saithenyn standing on the cliff, looking down at the angry sea, eating up Cantre'r Gwaelod. And somewhere on the 17th, 18th century, it was made into a slightly nicer, more romantic story. And in that version, Saithenyn is portrayed as the baddie, as the drunkard, as the gatekeeper who got so drunk one night that he forgot to close the gates, and the sea came in and drowned Cantre'r Gwaelod. The only people to escape were Mererid, the princess, and her lover, the servant boy, Gwyn. And there's talk of them riding over the causeway, which could be Wallog, back to the mainland and looking at their land being drowned. So it's a myth and it's history too. You can imagine why these stories existed, because they were looking at how they fitted in to the huge natural landscape which hadn't been analysed then. We want and we think we can control nature, but we know in the back of our minds we can't. And Cantre'r Gwaelod, this myth, reminds us that to a large extent we as people are powerless. It's part of our psyche in a way that we're always drawn to the sea. And I'm always drawn back to this place and other coastal areas in West Wales.